Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Virtual Touring Car Cup round number 7 here at Czech Republic's finest of Brno. My name is King-Kodiak, or Chris Buxton, as our mother was known, and I welcome you to this 7th round, the penultimate round of this series. 18 drivers doth join us, although we think there might be a few more in the offing. But before we head trackside, let's have a quick look through our slides. You can hear in the background people are starting the qualifying session. It's a 20-minute session. It's a little bit longer because Brno, like Spa, is a bit of a longer circuit. So there's 15-minute there. It's actually 20 minutes. It's a minute qualifying session that determines the grid for race numbers 1 and 3. Grid number 2 is random. So we have 3 15-minute races. That bit has not changed. Results from all 3 determine an overall event standing. Championship points awarded based on event standings. Although the Pro Championship is already wrapped up. Alex Jameson has sealed the deal, and Alex Jameson's not with us this evening. But still, the AM categories are very, very hotly contested, which we will go through shortly. So bonus point for Race 1 pole, bonus point for fastest lap overall, and any car permitted from the touring car class. That is how the pro standings look. As Alex Jameson now in an unassailable point, in an unassailable position at the top of Carl Benson, very close, but very closely fighting with Andrew Gillone for that second place spot. Toby Owen not far behind either, and Gary Cooper, Jay Daniels, Alex Rhodes, Brendan Van Heeden, Miles Dixon and Aaron Large joining us later in the season, already in the top 10. Then it is the AM standings, very close, just 1 point separating Colin Dunn, Mr. Fishwick himself, and Chris Callahan. Matt Webb again in striking distance, although needs a bit more luck on his side with only 2 rounds to go. Then Mark Holmes, Adam Davies, David Garside, Kev Straw, Sean Morton. Sean's not with us this evening. Simon Williams and Adam Bent. I don't think Adam is with us either for this round. That is what the vehicles look like. Again, they haven't really changed from the last round, but the liveries all looking magnificent. Feature drivers this time around: Adam Davies, Andrew Gellone, Miles Dixon and Nick Bailey. A couple of these drivers, Miles and Nick, I believe, have been on the list before, but I think Miles wasn't able to be in the session that he was nominated to be a feature driver on. So he is with us. That's the calendar. Just this and Silverstone to go. It seems a shame that the series is coming to an end, but that is what we find. For anyone wanting to join in, there have been several drivers that have joined us mid-season, and this is how you want to do it. We are looking to gather drivers. There's several names looking to get involved into next season. So you need Project Cars 2 obviously on the PC. It's we only run it on the PC platform at the moment. Races every Sunday night at 8 PM. Live stream, as you can clearly see. Pro and Am, as we've had all season long, and the driving standards have been absolutely brilliant. Right, let's see who's with us then for this penultimate round. David Garside is with us, car number 44. Welcome to you. Lotus Mark is our new entrant. Again, talking about drivers joining us for the current season. Now, Lotus Mark, otherwise known as Mark Harrison, was looking to sign up for next season. He's been with us in the stream, or has seen at previous streams, I should say, but has opted to go with taking part in tonight's race as a bit of a toe in the water to see how it all feels. He's been chased hard by one of the BMWs. I think that's Aaron Large is behind him. Andrew Gellone, he is one of our feature drivers. We've got some details about Andrew's sim racing prowess that we will go through in a little bit. Also, Mark Harrison is from the sim racing side of the world as opposed to the club racing side. There's Matt Webb, who's opted to put Webb as a 3-letter designation at the beginning of his name. Very kind of him. Master Ron, Aaron Large, as I thought I'd identified his rather banana split-esque livery. Yellow on the bottom, white on the top, number 11. Kev Straw in the Mercedes. Now this circuit is a bit of a killer, particularly for front tyres. Even the Beamers are struggling with front tyre temp. So this could be interesting. Jay Daniels in that very distinctive Renault, the orange and blue timescale going on. Time's beginning to get on the board. Gary Cooper and the lovely bright red Renault as he comes around the final turn. Turn number 15, very closely followed by Colin Dunn. Alex Rhodes, our graphics god, in his redesigned BMW. Chris Callahan, the contender to the throne for the AM side, just 1 point behind Colin Dunn at the moment. Brendan Van Heeden finally managed to get some points on the board at Spa, and let's hope he is able to continue some good fortune. Miles Dixon back in the pits for some reason. He's got a Cooper. I just realised that he's got Cooper Motorsport on the front of his car. Didn't actually notice that before. Whoa, Nick! That's a bit deep, sir! Mr. Scuzzle, as I referred to him earlier, Nick Bailey. He's one of our featured drivers for this evening. And very kindly pointed out that he and his family do enjoy my commentary and the coverage we put on the series, for which I am very thankful for. The mastermind behind it all, Mr. Toby Owen, in car number 42. Carrying on his merry way. There is Carl Benson, currently top of the tree with a 2:08.1. That's a stonking lap, actually. Some of the cars, the Mercedes in particular, seem to be struggling to get past 2:09. 2:07 seems to be a bit of a holy grail type lap time. Oh, Toby Owen getting a 2:09.2 on there. Very nice, but 2:08.1. Never mind, Brendan Van Heeden with a 2:06. Oh my goodness, sir, that is inhumanely quick in the Renault. Well done. That is an absolute corker. Wow, Mr. Gillo. There's room for improvement with this 2:21. I think it's fair to say he's in a lot of traffic there. I think we've introduced everybody. Colin Dunn, I didn't introduce you, but there he is. As a currently leader of the AM Championship. Just 1 point separates himself and Chris Callahan. Whoops, someone's just gone past the camera. That's a strange camera. That's an even stranger camera. This camera is not working very well. Matt Webb over the line, 2:11.466. There's Colin Dunn just behind him. There is Mr. Fishwick, 2:10.695. There is Toby. Is he looking to improve? Oh, Aaron Large in the tyre tracks of Kev Straw has gone and put a 2:08.882. There's a fair amount of 8s in there. Still waiting for a time from Gary Cooper, Alex Rhodes and Miles Dixon. Miles still in the pits, curiously. And amazingly, the BMW of Aaron Large is just still nailed to the back of Kev Straw. How peculiar. There he is, look. An unusual way of lapping this circuit for sure. Doing this for Brad Binder's first MotoGP win from Brendan Van Heeden. And support for Nick Bailey and Aaron Large in the chat. Welcome to all. Make yourself known. It's good to have some interaction with you lovely people watching live when we do the broadcast. Don't be afraid. I don't bite. Gallone doing what he can, but he again was concerned with front tyre temperatures even in that monstrous BMW. Back to the pits for Toby Owen, still on 2:08.832. Where is Mr. Benson? He is down by turns 8 and 9. That's Callahan getting that wrong. Oh dear, that's someone gone off. Who did he send off the road? I couldn't quite see. Oh, there's a name we missed. McRae Williams. The anime flavoured car number 56. Welcome to you. If there's anyone I've missed, I wholeheartedly apologise. That's newcomer Mark Harrison. Going to the 2:14.7. Oh, Alex Rhodes, have you had an argument with something? No, your livery just confused me there. Matt Webb just crossed the line to 11.132. Straight back out on track. As I got 10.5 minutes to go to set their times. Now Aaron Large has finally stopped harassing Kev Straw. 2:08.882 still his time. That looks like Brendan Van Heeden. Is that Brendan coming back out? Well, okay, Brendan is being very cautious with joining the track. Fair enough, can't blame him for that. Mowing the lawn on the inside of turn 1 whilst he's at it. Fair enough. There goes Gillone. Did he improve? No. We'll follow Gillone through as he's one of our featured drivers. Oops, that's Chris Callahan, I think, getting that one wrong. Right, we've just done turns 1, 2 and 3. Turn 1 is technically a double apex right-hander. Turn 3 is that non-existent left kink. Now turns 4 and 5. Down through the gears as the BMW will. Ooh, steady, Andrew. Keep it under control. Turn 5. Now this track is primarily, I believe, used for MotoGP racing. Well, certainly things with 2 wheels as opposed to 4. Which is quite an apt link to a nice, interesting fact about Mr. Gillone that we will go through in a bit. But now it's actually we'll follow Andrew through the rest of his laps. And now we've done turn 6 and 7, and now that was turn 8 down to 9 and 10. Very, very twisty circuit. This track does not favour powerhouse built cars, so anything that needs a while to build up to a monstrous top end is it's no good. They're disadvantaged at a track like this. It's very twisty, very technical, and very easy to get wrong. I quite like this circuit personally, as we now wind through turn 11, slightly off camber, nearly 180 degree right-hander. Now up for the blind apex turn 12. Actually, it would be better if we watch it on board. Almost blind turn 13. And the elevation is really drastic. You kind of get an idea of it. If you look over to the left, you can see how the tree line is really kind of having to adapt to the lay of the land. Now 14, 15. It's very easy to overcook the entrance of 14 and sail off into the dust. And that tyre wall there, I threw away a race win here by hitting that very wall. What does Gillone get on the board? It's a 2:07.7, a storming time in the BMW. Very nicely done as he jumps around Kev Straw, who is just slowing down there. Gary Cooper sliding his way through. I think that's turn 10 where he is. Yep, that is 10 and 11 where he currently resides. Where's Miles Dixon now? Back out on track. Oh, there is Andrew Gillone. We've just watched to go through his lap. Okay, so they are coming to... That's the final 2 turns, I think. No, it isn't. It's not that at all. It's turns 5 and 6. They're near the beginning of the lap. Good evening to you, Mr. Jones. Thank you for dropping by. Whoops! Steady, Miles. Don't get too carried away with the loud pedal. Wow. Great time from Gillone there. Right, as Mr. Gillone is one of our featured drivers, the details he has given for... Let's just see what he has given me. Now, I have known Andrew Gillone for quite a number of years. He was in the very first race I ever commentated on at a racing league called Apex Online Racing, or abbreviated to AOR. And we've lost one from our ranks as well. Someone has disconnected, so we're down to 17 drivers. Whoever that is, hopefully they'll be able to reappear, and Mr. Gillone has jumped back to the pits. But in sim racing terms, he started sim racing in about 2002 with GTR, GTR2, Project Cars 1, Assetto Corsa, Project Cars 2. Has also dabbled in ACC, from what I understand. He's very much the fan of endurance racing, and he has done he's AOR default touring car champion, so he was always at home with these touring cars. Project Cars 2 GT3 Elite, so the top tier of season 15 for AOR. He was the champion for them. I'm sure he hasn't listed all of them, because I'm sure he's done championships in the P-Cars 1 days as well. Stone Cold Le Mans 6-hour winner. AOR 8 hours of Laguna Seca, I should say, in ACC Split 2 winner, and he ran the entire 8 hours on his own. Wow. And also AOR 2.4 hour Le Mans Triple Crown winner, also in P-Cars 2. Also, to his credit, he's been part... Oh, look at the tail. Get lively on that one. Very, very nice, Mr. Gillone. He's also been part of a British Superbike team. Was a few years ago, but he has toured, up and down the country. Couldn't see an awful lot as he was buried in the pit garages for a lot of the time. Although one notable incident was when changing the brakes or changing the wheels of the motorbike from dries to wets, the brake caliper was a bit hot, and he was given it to deal with. I think he was sort of very much the newcomer of the team, and he grabbed it when it was too hot and it branded him. Well, just as I cut away then, he had a great old tank slapper on there. So that is the information given to me for Mr. Gillone. Where is Nick Bailey? There he is. Currently 11th with a 2:11.585. Lovely slide going on in the Renault through the final few turns. Now, where's the information that Mr. Scuzzle gave me? Did he improve on that lap? 2:11.232. He improved in time, but not position. Mr. Bailey, where is your information? It is here. Now then. Whereas Andrew Gillone is from the sim racing side, Nick Bailey comes from the club racing side. And he wrote, made a name for myself with Scuzzle Motorsport tuning cars, seen on Auto Express and Car Throttle as the MX-5 Wizard. Now working for DMAC in Basingstoke. It's not far from where I grew up, in Thatcham. Independent Garage as their technical stroke drag guy. Diag. I read it as drag. That has a whole different diagnostic guide. Beg your pardon. Raced in the. He's written Max 5. I'm assuming he means MX5. Championship 2015. Some guest appearances over the next few years. Have raced at the Race of Remembrance, or ROR as that's referred to as, every year that he has run, and claims the ROR fame by being the only team to win a prize after pushing one of our cars over the line after throwing a rod through the side of the first engine, spinning the big end bearings on the second, and building a third engine from the two broken ones. You want to talk about determination? That's fantastic! Also managed a second in class at the ROR 1 year. And his he's also given me a picture, which I can't present unfortunately on the stream, of the silverware. And there's a good 9-10 trophies in there. Also, there was a fastest lap in 2015, and also won the racing award. Very nicely done. Which he believes was the best best new driver to the sport. Now it doesn't have the budget to race, so have taken to sim racing, where I'm nowhere near as good as in a real car, but it's a lot cheaper. Very true. Also, his race-winning Mark 1 Master MX-5 is up for sale, though he's not advertised it yet. So, if anyone interested, give him look him up, Nick Bailey, on Facebook. Right then. Whilst we've been talking about Mr. Bailey, no improvement on that time. They've got 2 minutes to go. If it was Jay Daniels that has returned to session. Oh dear, that might be why he dropped out. That's a lot of lag for Jay Daniels. It's a shame he's not normally had that kind of trouble. A great shame. Oh, Gillone's improved. A 2:07.338, half a second, which over a 2-minute lap is not that bad. But still, that 2:06.7 from Brendan Van Heeden, an absolute stormer from the South African. Certainly taking advantage of the fact that Alex Jameson, the pro champion, is not here. And what's also while we've been talking, Mr. Benson is jumped up to third with a 2:08.1, and Toby Owen 2:08.8, still very close to Aaron Large. And newcomer Mark Harrison still with a 2:14 on the board. As I mentioned to him earlier, consistency is far more important at a track such as this. Raw pace is nice, certainly. It'll help, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Minute to go then. Anyone that needs to start their lap needs to get on with it. Let's ride on board with Brendan then, as we go for a tour around this wonderful track once again. Turn 1. So there's a second apex in there somewhere apparently, because on my map there's that left-hander is turn 3. Don't ask, don't know. Up the hill towards turn 4. There's a huge amount of elevation change in this circuit. Chucks the nose in. That didn't look like it wanted to behave itself. Now turn 5. Those big sausage curves on the apexes will really unsettle the car as It looked like Brendan had to really dance with that. So now start to come back downhill. Off camber turn 6. The car's just you have to slide it to get it to behave itself. 7. Over to the right hand side as much as you dare, and then swing through for turn 8. This track is very much about precision than it is about raw pace. 9. Oh, also looking at the lap times. It looks like Toby Owens improved, Aaron Large has improved, but their positions remain the same. Gary Cooper has jumped up to 5th with a 2:08.181. Nicely done. Down to turn 11. That's Aaron Large ahead of us. As we start to climb the hill once again. Flicker through the 12 and 13. You've got an apex on apex on a bend, I nearly said. Well, apex of a bend is rather the point. Oh, it looks like we've lost Jay Daniels again. Yeah, we have. That's a shame. I mean, you can really hear in some of these cars they struggle to deal with that elevation change there. 14. Fairly close to the apex. Let's sweep through for 15. Someone's already taken the tyres out on the right-hand side. Does Brendan improve? Aaron Large is just about to come out. Aaron Large did. A 2:08.140. Oh, yes, Mr. Van Heeden did improve. A 2:06.486. You inhumane monster, you. That is an absolutely stormer. Gary Cooper, he's done. Miles Dixon. I think Miles is... Yeah, he is. That's the first few corners. Alex Rhodes, is he still roaring on? I think so. Yeah, that doesn't sound like AR control. So, final turns, I believe. I think he's hit something. I got caught out with his livery before. Yeah, that's a reshapen bonnet, all right. He's probably already been to the pits to have the physical damage repaired, but the visual damage doesn't change. Does he improve? He does. That was a 2:09.7 for Alex, but it does not improve his position. So it's Brendan Van Heeden and Andrew Gellone on the front row. 0.8 of a second separating those two. Then another 0.8 to the next 4 drivers, which is Carl Benson, Aaron Large, Toby Owen and Gary Cooper. How close is that pack there? That's fantastic. And then less than a tenth behind them is Miles Dixon. Brilliant stuff. Then a bit of a gap to Chris Callahan. Nothing wrong with that. Is Chris? I think Chris might be our lead AM driver, actually. Alex Rhodes in 9th position. Then taking 10th position is Colin Dunn. Matt Webb 11. Kev Straw 12. Mr. Scuzzle. Nick Beatty in 13th. McCrory Williams 14th. Mark Holmes. Oh, Mark Holmes. I didn't mention his name whatsoever. Apologies there, Mr. Holmes. In 15th, David Garside 16th. And a newcomer, Mark Harrison, at the tail of the field. So we're just waiting now for the lobby host to press the button to progress further. And then we will get on to race number 1. 15 minutes of this circuit. Here we go. And all 17 drivers have made it to this point. Good to see. Right, was I correct? And it was. I was indeed correct. Chris Callahan is our lead AM driver. Right behind him, directly behind him indeed, is his arch rival, Mr. Fishwick, Colin Dunn. Goodness me. Nick Beatty. Goodness, Nick has really struggled, along with McCrae Williams, actually, in this circuit. But that is very much the nature of this circuit. You either absolutely nail it or it nails you. There's not always a lot of kind of leeway, essentially. Some tracks you can kind of build on and build on. I've always found this track to be a bit of a... Well, love or hate it, not quite what I mean, but you either just, like I say, duck to water or you drown. It's a difficult track to master, but if you do master it, it's very, very nice. But look at this. Front wheel drive first, rear wheel drive second, front wheel drive third, rear wheel drive fourth. Brilliant stuff. The BMW's doing well to keep up with the Renaults, but it does look like the Renaults having... Well, certainly there's more of them, but they do seem to have a bit of a pace advantage. However, that means absolutely nothing if you are stuffed into the wall at the first turn. Here we go then. Race number 1 of this penultimate round of the VTCC. It is time to wind them up and let them go. Oh, that's a terrible start from Van Heeden. Has his bad luck found him once again? Gillone has stormed off the line. Aaron Large up to second. Carl Benson up to third. Oh my goodness, the Gummy Bear down to fourth before the first turn. Toby Owen, that's the view from him. As look at Van Heeden trying to do something on the outside of turns 1 and 2. Can't quite get alongside Benson. Has everybody made it through? It does look like everybody has survived the first few turns. Gillone is trying to break free, and that's Toby Owen trying to make a move, but side by side with Mr. Rank Dropper Carl Benson. He's just lost that third place to Van Heeden, who wants to try and make up for lost time. It was a really bad start. Oh, there's Callahan and Dunn side by side in the background. There they are. That's the AM lead. I beg your pardon. That's Callahan and Alex Rhodes side by side. Nick Bailey right in there as well. He's gained a few. Oops, as he gives a bit of a tap to Mr. Fishwick. No particular harm there. Look at the fighting going on. You can go side by side. The track is wide enough, but it's very much who's got the biggest, bravest cojones in the driver's seat to do something like that. Aaron Large hasn't had a great start. Well, he started okay, I think, but it's not gone too well thereafter. Now Van Heeden back up into second is chasing off after Gillone, but right behind them, Miles Dixon in this particular battle. Look at Gary Cooper, and he's just taken 5th position from Toby Owen. What a cracking start. Whoa, that was Aaron Large getting all out of shape coming through turn 11, nearly sideswiping Carl Benson. But on they go. They've lived to survive another day. This lot still fighting on as Benson has just got up into 3rd position ahead of Aaron Large. Here comes Gary Cooper, now up into 4th. What a storming start for him. But as you can see at the bottom of the shaft, Van Heeden and Gillone are just broken away from the pack, and will, I'm sure, continue that fight for some time to come. And look at Dixon. He's the outside over 3 wide going on right behind them. I just saw there was another 3 wide going on. Goodness me, look at this one. Now there is Harrison. Oh no, David Garside's out of trouble. He's now down to last. Our newcomer has got a view of a great scrap going on ahead of him with McRae Williams. That's Kev Straw in the Mercedes on the left-hand side. And Nick Bailey's the first to get a penalty on the board. Ooh, sort this out before you get into the first turn. Ooh, Kev Straw kept that one in. Wow, that was very, very close. Struth alive. That was... I was anticipating an almighty great collision there, but oh me of little faith. As we look at this great big pack, that's 3rd to 7th involved in this pack here on the roof cam of Miles Dixon, as he looks at the back of Aaron Larch, who's behind Toby Owen, Gary Cooper and Carl Benson. As I've just seen the lead change hands, Van Heeden has had a great exit from turn 6 and has managed to make the move stick before 7. Gillone in second. Gillone certainly with the championship point advantage over Brendan Van Heeden. But Brendan's certainly showing the greater pace. But pace is one thing, consistency is another. We will see. Even in 15-minute races, you still need to be able to keep it on the black stuff. And it's that consistency that hasn't always been with Brendan. We'll see what he can do. There's Dixon. Actually, 2 places back is Nick Bailey. So he's managed to make his way through that particular pack he was fighting with, and he's now into 9th. What's his penalty? Oh, 32 seconds? My goodness, Nick. How on earth did you manage that? That's a very good question. That one I'm sure will be appealed. Oh, wow, Miles going a bit slow there as Gary Cooper bounces off the door of Carl Benson, and because of that he's lost the momentum. There goes Toby Owen. Oh, wow, that was a very robust defence there from Gary Cooper to shut down Aaron Large. Because he made a mistake at that turn 13 and then had that uphill section, he just really struggled to get any pace going. Oh, as that's a road cone stuck underneath Toby Owen's car. Aaron Large trying to fend off Miles Dixon. Oh, Gary Cooper is rubbing doors with Toby Owen. Now down the start-finish straight. My goodness me, they're still going at it. Almost 3 wide. No, they're going to go 2 wide though into turn 1. What a move from Gary Cooper. Can he banzai on the inside of Toby Owen? Oh, Aaron Large trying to make it for 3 wide. No, he got a bit of a tank swapper there and did not complete the move. Still side by side, Gary Cooper, Toby Owen, and Carl Benson is just minding his own business at the head of that particular pack as Gillone and Van Heeden continue their fight. Whoa, Gary Cooper, I think you were a bit too hot into there, my friend. as he's lost a bit of momentum. Here comes Toby Owen once again. Miles Dixon looking like he wants to try and get... Well, he definitely wants to get involved in it. I went to the roof cam slightly wrong time. Oh! Wow, Toby Owen slams the door in the face of Aaron Large. My goodness, the BMW had to really get on the base, and that's a bit wide for Benson. Now, Alex Rhodes is wanting to get involved. My goodness, this pack now 6 cars long. There in the background, Chris Callahan leading our AM contingent. We don't have very many AM drivers with us, unfortunately, as Matt Webb is up into second in the AM class with Mr. Fishwick. Oh no, Nick Bailey, after saying that he was doing pretty well up in 9th, now finds himself in 12th. Oops, and that's Matt Webb that's gone for an excursion into the dust. But up towards the front end, Alex Rhodes has got a great ringside seat. Oh, that was Gary Cooper again creating some tyre smoke as he was getting really heavily alongside. That'll be Carl Benson. And no, wrong one. There's Gary Cooper I was aiming for. The two Renaults side by side through 12 and 13. And no, Gary Cooper still fended off, but because Carl Benson's fighting that hard, and it's for a podium position, but here comes Cooper. Oh, he had a wonderful drive from 13. He's gone a little bit deep into 14. Oh, a bit of door rubbing between the two Renaults. And here comes Toby Owen to get involved in it as well. Still side by side, 4 Renaults involved in this particular pack, including Miles Dixon, who now looks set to try and slipstream on the inside of Toby Owen. Can he claim? He's looking to claim 2 before turn 1. What? Such a brave move. 3 wide through turn 1. Yet again, Gary Cooper's sent into Mars. He was absolutely miles wide. Carl Benson was sent miles offline as Gary Cooper is now up to 3rd. After all that's gone on, Gary Cooper in the bright red Renault is now into 3rd position. Miles Dixon in 4th. A great run for him. Carl Benson down into 5th. Toby Owen 6th. Aaron Large in 7th. Oh no, beg your pardon. Aaron Large now 6th, demoting Toby Owen to 7th. And Alex Rhodes has got a great ringside seat for the entire lot. Up front, Brendan Van Heeden is checked out. Look at this. He is absolutely gone. I mean, granted, 1.5 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but over someone with the caliber of Andrew Gillone, that's quite a feat. So fair play, Brendan Van Heeden. May he claim the win here at Brno. We will see. Gary Cooper, look at that. 1.5 seconds down the road. I've cut away the wrong time because I think Carl Benson was getting a bit squiggly there. Carl really going for the chuck the tail in. And there goes another road cone. Checking in once again with Nick Bailey, one of our feature drivers for this evening. He's gotten past the AM runners, and Colin Dunn is back up ahead, back to the head of the field of the AM drivers. So him and Callahan are having a great battle. Again, apologies that we've not been able to catch this particular battle too much, as I have been focusing quite a lot on what is now a 4-way battle led by Miles Dixon in 4th. There's another 4-way battle here that Matt Webb is at the tail of. There's Nick Bailey, who is in the pro contingent, so he's not in this battle per se. He is on track, but not in championship terms. But, oh, wow, that was Matt Webb getting a bit out of shape. Colin has nailed himself to the back of Nick Bailey, trying to get away from Chris Callahan. Oh, he could have gone for the move. There's nothing stopping him. And Toby Owen now at the back of this particular train. But it does look like... Did they close in a bit on Gary Cooper? No. Gary extended his lead up front of this train. As the top two now 2 seconds apart. Brendan Van Heeden leads Andrew Gillone by about 2 seconds. Gary Cooper in 3rd with an almighty load of drivers still pushing hard to catch up. No, oh, that's deep for Carl Benson. Where's the camera looking? Wow, that was very deep for Benson. He lost the position to Aaron Large as a result of that. Just missed his braking point. So easy to do in the heat at the moment. But that's cost him. They're just at the top of the shop was Alex Rhodes. He's lost time on that particular pack. But look who's behind him. It is Nick Bailey with the AM class right behind him. So Alex Rhodes could be in for a whole world of company very, very soon. Just have a quick look at the rest. There's Kev Straw with Mark Holmes, David Garside, and Mark Harrison at the tail of that particular field. David Garside and Mark Holmes in their own battle for 14th place. But what an incredible amount of battles we've had. It's a shame I can't keep up with all of them. But I do my best with how I can. It does look like this pack is beginning to separate somewhat, because Miles Dixon has got Aaron Large, and then there's a bit of a gap between Aaron Large and Carl Benson. There it is. And you can see Gary Cooper at the top of the shot. He's got himself... That's about 6/10 of a second. Oh, no! Carl has smacked that tyre wall. Now, he might be lucky... Well, as the tyres bounce back onto track, he might be lucky. Not all of the tyre walls cause the same amount of damage, but... And there doesn't seem to be any obvious damage to his car. But I know out of experience, you hit those walls hard enough, and it can ruin your car. Doesn't seem to be doing him too much harm at the moment as that particular pack settles down. Let's jump back to Chris Callahan, who is still chasing the AM lead from Colin Dunn. Right ahead, you've got Nick Bailey now doing a slipstream on Alex Rhodes. He's got the slipstream, he's got the pace, and that's more tyres bouncing around in the background. Can Nick Bailey do the inside manoeuvre into turn one? Alex Rhodes isn't making it easy for him. Oh, both of them doing it pretty well. Lots of racing room given between the two. Nick Bailey nudges up into sixth, but Alex Rhodes is hanging on in there. Alex is going to have the inside line for the next couple of turns. Oh, and now Alex Rhodes has nudged back up into 8th position. And I think Nick's going to have to concede that one. He does. Oh, like hell does he. Not a chance. Scuzzle Motorsport number 29 slides past Alex Rhodes up into 8th. But Alex is not having it, though. On the way down the hill towards turn 11. Nicely done. Nick Bailey slides the door shut. Oh, but he's gone deep. Here comes Alex Rhodes again to try to do something about it, along with Dunn. Oh, no impact between Colin Dunn and Nick Bailey. I think Colin Dunn got a little hot coming into turn 7, and that's put Nick Bailey slightly off his rhythm. And that could have given Alex Rhodes the breathing space he needs to hold on to that 8th position. There's Benson now in 6th position. Bearing in mind he was in the top 3 for a while. There's Aaron Large on the back of Miles Dixon. This could well be, I think, one of Miles Dixon's best results. As it's now 3.2 seconds separating Brendan Van Heeden and Andrew Gillone up front. There is Van Heeden. And there is Gillone. Gary Cooper is also in the middle of nowhere, as he's worked his way brilliantly through the field. And Dixon with Aaron Large all over him. That camera view is no good whatsoever. Carl Benson not giving up on it, though. They sweep through the last couple of turns. There in the background you just saw Toby Owen. And the foreground there, Gary Cooper going through the shot. Oh, Aaron Large getting very, very close. I think that's going to... Oh! Bit of ruddy cross going on there from Carl Benson. Manages just about to keep his car under control. I think Aaron Large went in a bit hot. He had to get out of it, and that put Carl Benson off his stride. But Aaron Large right on Miles Dixon's case for 4th place on the inside of turn 4. Can he do it? Or is Miles going to try and banzai that one into 5? Still side by side between the Renault and the BMW. Oh, goodness me. Aaron Large just cut back across a little bit too hot. And that's sent Aaron Large where he's gone off into the dust. Oh, no, that's cost him 3 positions as Miles Dixon, Carl Benson, and now capitalising on the mayhem, Toby Owen is back up into 4th. My goodness. What an absolutely amazing battle, as the checkered flag is coming out very, very soon. Less than a minute to go, and Miles Dixon looks like he wants to put one on the inside of Carl Benson, but does not manage the move into 9 and 10. Bouncing up, well, one of them is bouncing off the rev limiter. Miles Dixon looks set to try and make a move on Carl Benson, though, coming down towards 10-11. No, he stays where he is. Further back, Colin Dunn has lost the AM lead again to Chris Callahan, and Alex Rhodes is right in the midst of it, just going out of the shot. There he is, Nick Bailey. He has gotten clear of the madness and mayhem that was surrounding him. And now looks set for that 8th position with that bizarre 32-second penalty. 2 seconds for Toby Owen, 3 for Carl Benson, and 1 for Mark Holmes. And the checkered flag is out now. He didn't even see the man coming over the line. Your winner in race number 1 is Brendan Van Heeden. He should be ecstatic about that. Andrew Gillone, I'm sure he'll be quite pleased with that expression. Gary Cooper, my goodness me. Great effort there for third, but right behind them, Toby Owen, Carl Benson, and that, because of the penalties, that switches round to Miles Dixon taking 4th place. Toby Owen 5, Aaron Large up into 6th now, and Carl Benson drops to 7th. Chris Callahan is going to cross the line. I know some of these penalties are going to, for instance, Nick Bailey has crossed the line, and I can only assume the game is thought he's done an off-track overtake somewhere. That one will go to the stewards, I have absolutely no doubt. But at the moment, Callahan is registered 8th, Rhodes 9, and there is Colin Dunn in 10th, Matt Webb 11, Kev Straw 12th, David Garside having an argument with Mark Holmes as they come over the line for 13th position. And just saw him at the end. There was newcomer Mark Harrison. But there it is as confirmation. Brendan Van Heeden, the only man in the 207s at 207.5. You cannot argue with that pace. I'm just going to save the replay because I keep forgetting to do it. Thank you. Then Andrew Gillone 2nd, Gary Cooper 3rd, Miles Dixon 4th, Toby Owen 5th. And as a reminder, this is before any kind of steward's intervention. Aaron Large 6th, Brendan Van Heeden. No, I knew I'd do that. Carl Benson in 7th, Chris Callahan 8th, Alex Rhodes 9, and Colin Dunn in 10th position. With Matt Webb 11, Kev Straw 12, David Garside 13th, Mark Holmes 14. That is Mark Harrison in 15th. Nick Bailey, of course, will have these penalties looked at. Currently in 16th position. We lost a couple as the race went on. Wow. Whew. That was pretty mental. And we have the reverse grid next. That ought to be fun. Right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because I think this is going to be pretty bonkers, don't you? I certainly do. Stay with us. We'll be back with you as soon as we can.
Woo.
Joining me in the commentary box, I'm very glad that this man has decided to hop into the box in the intermission. It's our race winner. It's Brendan Van Heeden.
It's this. Woo! Finally. I'm so stoked.
It's felt like a long time coming, but my goodness, no one could question your pace. The only man in the 207s. Tell us how it feels. Yeah. How's it feeling from your side, Brendan?
Look, I am so happy. Sure, I don't know what to say. I wish James was here. It would have given me a little bit more competition, I think. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Worried about the start, got through with that, and done. Really, really happy.
Did you always feel like the win was possible? The bad luck has always held you back, or has it just been a steady kind of set of incremental improvements? Because again, your luck at the beginning of the season was horrific.
Terrible. Yeah, no, I don't know what's happened, but I've seemed to unlock the car. Look, I've always been fast with like normal regular races. It just racing with you guys. It's taken me and pushed me to the next level. And you know what? I think I'm going to say this again. I think the livery and my sponsors, I think it's helped.
Yeah, the good luck charm of South Africa has finally landed upon you. Well,
yes, I'd just like to say well done to Brad Binder as well. He's the first South African in a while now to win a MotoGP and a rookie rider. Can you believe it? It's the day of the essays.
It is definitely the day for South Africa. Fair play. Looking forward to race 2, or again, just kind of gonna hope it goes well.
Exactly. I'm just gonna hope it goes well. I've got my first win. I'm happy with that. Like I said, I wish Jameson was here. But I'm really, really stoked. I'm really, really happy. And you know what? I don't care what happens the rest of the night. I'm just happy. That's all.
Well, we could guess. We're feeling it with you, Brendan. Well done. Really pleased for you.
Thank you.
And good luck for the remaining rounds. Thank you very much, Brendan van Heeden.
Thank you.
Right, none of the other drivers have come forward to have a chat with you. Absolutely fine. They don't have to. We will be getting race 2 underway very, very soon. We have a second driver that has come forward to have a chat with us, as we've had a bit of a lobby problem.
Technical issues.
Technical issues indeed, as Mr. Owen forgot to turn the qualifying off. Never mind. They'll never know. Hello, Mr. Andrew Gillone.
Hello. Yeah, that was predictable.
what did go exactly rather as you called. So
pretty much, yeah. Well, I was working it out. His pace of pulling away from me was slowing down a little bit. So I think I did rough calculations. If the race was another 360 laps long, I reckon I'd have had him.
Well, you are an endurance racer by heart.
Yeah, I just try and outlast people. I think that's the strategy.
I mean, you did do 8 hours on your own. 320 laps here. I think
because I got no friends. Nobody wants to drive with me.
Didn't
That's all it is.
Right. Get out of my box, sir.
Oh.
Right. So, on to the serious business.
Yeah.
Once again, an absolutely roaring start off the line.
Yeah, the BM's kind of OP on the grid on the static start, but don't tell anybody. I don't think they've noticed yet.
Well, you say that, but Alex Jameson's had a few troubles with it. I mean, I know I've had. It's about the only car I can start well because I just floor it and drop it into first. So that's pretty much how I do it. But
yeah, it works.
You have always been at one with the BMW. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I don't like. I can't do front wheel drive. It's like alien stuff to me. It doesn't work.
The Beamer has been a loyal steed.
Yeah, I do like BM and Aston. It tends to be my weapons of choice when I can. So yeah, and I've done a touring car championship in the past as well, in the BM as well. So it was kind of known territory. It went well last time, so I thought we'd just carry on. And
it's serving you well. Yeah. It's serving you very well.
Indeed. Yeah. We'll use the excuse of joining the league late as to why we're not right at the front, but not true. But again, hopefully nobody will notice.
You say that, but it is something I have mentioned a few times. That
I'll hide behind that excuse gladly. It's not a problem. Yeah.
Oh goodness me! So we mentioned your endurance antics of late. Is it in what chariot are you riding in the endurance?
It depends. So last night was the point 4 of Le Mans. That was running the Ford GT.
How could you tolerate the noise of that thing for 2.5 hours?
Turn it down very low. It does sound like a very angry wasp.
Yeah.
But no, she drives nice, so and I just went with it. And yeah, it went well. So took another win, so it was all good.
And do you still carry the branding from the brake disc? Or
no, that's pretty much that's kind of cleared away. That was a while ago now. So yeah, no, it was an interesting one. Nothing like the smell of your own burning flesh.
Beautiful. Thoughts for random grid?
It's just look at the draw where you get dumped on the grid. I've been lucky so far in the last couple of races or so I'm kind of due a bad one. We'll see.
Well, the classic Mercs didn't really go your way, but we are counting down into the lobby. Let's brush over that. Right. Good luck for
We'll
races.
see what happens. Hopefully
Indeed.
we'll pick up some victims off the line.
Good luck for races 2 and 3. Thank you very much, Andrew Gillow.
Thank you, sir.
As mentioned, we are heading to the track. So let's head down trackside and see who has been dumped where for this random grid race. Race number 2. Right. The weather should be unaltered, and it is. And it's Matt Webb and Miles Dixon on the front row. McRae, Williams, and Kev Straw. Ooh, interesting mixture. Row 2, Gary Cooper and Aaron Large on row 3. David Garside and Andrew Gillone on row 4. Mr. Scuzzle is in the middle again. Nick Bailey in 9th. That's about where he was last time as well, is Colin Dunn in 10th. Jay Daniels joins us this time. Hopefully his lag problem is sorted out. Really hope so, because he's starting in the mid-pack-ish. So if he lags there, there's going to be all kinds of trouble for those behind. Mark Holmes, there he is in the Astra in 12th. Alex Rhodes and Mark Harrison on row 7. Chris Callahan and Toby Owen on row 8. Oh my goodness! That's going to be interesting. So there is Carl Benson, a front runner in the pros, but look at that! Brendan Van Heeden starts last. He won in a pretty convincing style in round 1, and he has got the biggest mountain to climb to do it again. Ooh, lovely. Fine for me. And he's just simply put in capital letters last in Discord, so I'm not sure he's too happy about that. Well, here we go. It is time for him to show his worth along with everybody else. Round number 2 of this penultimate race in the VTCC. The engine revs doth rise. It is time to wind them up and let them wait for it and go all the way. That was a jump start from Aaron Large, and it's Gillon again with a stormer. Look at that, he's just found a gap and flown through it. Matt Webb's had a pretty decent start, but it's Gillon into turn 1. Unbelievable. Whoa, Gary Cooper, where on earth are you going? Off is where he's gone. There he is. He flew off the road and now finds himself down at the tail of the field, joining Brendan Van Heeden, who's had a terrible start. That looks like damage on the Renault. Well, both Renaults. Oh, that's Jay Daniels lagging, so he hasn't sorted his lag problems out. Back up to the front. It is Gillon, Webber. Oh, goodness me. Not Webber, Webb, I beg your pardon. Miles Dixon in third position, looking to try and get past the AM runner. McRae Williams 4. Nick Bailey yet again's had a storming start. Up into 5th place now. Aaron Large with that drive. He'll have a drive-through penalty to serve. Ooh. Carl Benson getting right in there as that's David Garside that I thought was going to fly off the road there, but does manage to keep it on the black stuff. And look at the Brendan Van Heeden on the inside of Alex Rhodes. Oh, what a move there to get up into... Oh, no! That was a lag. Jay Daniels has basically forced Brendan Van Heeden into the dust, and Alex Rhodes, oh, there will be words had about that. But up front, Miles Dixon is now ahead of Matt Webb and Nick Bailey up into 4th place now. McRae Williams and Aaron Large side by side with Carl Benson. David Garside in hot pursuit as well. 3 cars wide as we head now, start to come back up the hill for turn 14 as Aaron's giving McRae a bit of a nudge, and McRae's wanted a bit wide, just about kept it on the road. And McRae had to get out of it because Garside's gone through. Mark Holmes is going through. My goodness me, it's chaos and anarchy everywhere except for Andrew Gillon. He's decided... Well, he's not decided to. He has absolutely stormed through the field and is off and running. Dixon 2nd, Webb 3rd, Bailey 4th, Benson 5th, Large 6th, Garside 7th. Goodness me, the pack is so close. Right the way down to Gary Cooper as that's a lagging Jay Daniels. There is Cooper, but those caught out with the lag. There is Brendan Van Heeden. Oh my goodness, it looks like there's damage to the front of the car. There is... Oh, he's changed car. Or he's changed colour at least. There's Harrison. And there's Alex Rhodes, who also got caught up in that incident with Brendan. There is Callahan, who I think has had an incident. There's so much door banging going on, but there always is. Oh, that's Jay Daniels has gone sideways. Oh my goodness me. Oh, there's someone round. That camera's useless. Who was that facing on with Kev Straw? Oh, Kev Straw has gone sideways, now falling down the field. There's that lagging Jay Daniels again. Jumping up to... Oh, Aaron Larges. That's Nick Bailey going for a bit of a wonder. Stays in 4th position, just about fends off. Carl Benson, who just banzais on the inside of the Scuzzle Motorsport car into turn 8. And nicely done. Carl Benson up into 4th now. There's Brendan Van Heeden. He's gone past McRae Williams as there's flying tyres in the background. But you can see there is damage pretty much everywhere on that car. Oh, there's Daniels, just saw in the background. Gary Cooper is in a hell of a fight here. Garside, Dunn, Holmes. Oh no, Mark Holmes got sideways, collected Garside and slams him into the wall and ends up landing on top of Mark Holmes' car. Oh dear, after what looked like an amazing, nice move, Mr. Nick Bailey, love that. Oh, goodness me. What looked like a great, clean race 1 is being made up for now in race number 2. On board again with Aaron Large. We can see, who's asked Contidas? Matt Webb. Oh, I thought he might have driven into the path of Nick Bailey there, but no, he did manage to recover in time. He's still the front-running AM driver in this grid. Oh, this is going to get interesting. Slipstream from Aaron Large off the back of Nick Bailey, side by side into turn 1. And I think Matt Webb backed out of that one. He didn't fancy going side by side with the BMW. My goodness. The current order, Andrew Gillone leads by 2.5 seconds over Miles Dixon. 2 of our featured drivers up in the top 2. Nicely done. Then Carl Benson in 3rd. Nick Bailey fending off Aaron Large for 4th. Right with him is Matt Webb. And into the pits comes... oh dear, David Garside. Not a happy looking car following that massive incident. That's McRae Williams. That's that car doesn't seem to want to behave itself at all. He's got his windscreen wipers going. And it's going that badly for McRae that the windscreen wipers are going. There's Alex Rhodes chasing after Mark Harrison and also Kev Straw. They've been involved in their own incidents as well. Ooh, 3 wide coming down the hill towards 10-11, I think. Oh no, Straw's trying to turn in, bounces off of newcomer Mark. And sadly, that's again Alex Harrison. Alex Rhodes off into the dust. There's Chris Callahan on the back of Brendan Van Heeden, who's on the back of Colin Dunn, who's on the back of Gary Cooper. And that is part of the appeal and also the disdain for some people of the random car grid is that we do have different packs of people racing each other. Oh, Matt Webb thinking about an inside banzai there on Aaron Large, and Nick Bailey chucking his car around with reckless abandon through turns 12 and 13. Now up the hill. It's work for Nick Bailey. He's back up into 4th place. He is about 3 seconds behind Carl Benson though. Oh, good turn in. Rather shut the door on Aaron Large there. So 3 of our 4 featured drivers are in the top 4. Nice. There's Carl Benson at the bottom of the shot. Nick Bailey with a whole load of company behind him. Toby Owen, there he is in 7th now as Aaron Large tries to get on the inside of Nick Bailey into turn 1. Can't quite get it done. And still, Mr. Scuzzle fends off the competition and holds on to 4th position. Behind them, Cooper, Fishwick, Colin Dunn, and Gumtree, Brendan Van Heeden. 8th, 9th, and 10th. Whoa, that's Matt Webb going a bit deep. That's going to give Toby Owen an opportunity for 6th place, which he takes. Aaron Large still all over the back of Nick Bailey. Oh, Colin Dunn side by side with Brendan Van Heeden. Bit of a flash of the light there from Brendan, interestingly. But they continue. He hasn't given up, is Brendan. But it's going to be difficult for him to repeat the success of the first race, I think. As Carl Benson's on the back of Miles Dixon. Wow. Battle for 2nd. Ooh. Nearly off the road. Well, there's a lot of track penalties. Jay Daniels just adding his name to it. There in the background, you can see Nick Bailey and, it's pretty much an entourage right behind him. Goodness me. That's 4th to 8th in that collection. There is Gary Cooper in 8th position. Matt Webb already ahead of him. Then Toby Owen. And then the 2 further ahead, Aaron Large and Nick Bailey. And right behind Gary Cooper he's still doing the decent lap times. Leader's pace is Brendan Van Heeden. It's just he's 13 seconds behind Andrew Gillone. And with damage to the car. But once again, the AM leaders are close together again. Colin Dunn and Chris Callahan. I was a little cautious there from Colin Dunn, but on board with Brendan as he stares at the back of Gary Cooper. He's really going to get involved in this battle. Oh, Cooper went for an early apex. Matt Webb very sideways coming into turn 1. Let's have a quick look at the penalties then. 1 for Miles Dixon, 1 for Carl Benson, 20 for Aaron Large. Impressive. Oh, of course, Aaron Large had a drive-through penalty, didn't he? Which translates into a 20-second penalty. 1 for Matt Webb, 3 for Jay Daniels, and 1 for David Garside. At the tail of the field, but he's been through the pits. Corey Williams and Mark Holmes are close together. That's an argument for 15th position. There is Mark Harrison. Oh, hello. Oh, it's Gary Cooper on the inside of Matt Webb. Whoa! Brendan Van Heeden really had to stamp on the anchors there. Oh, is he going to try an inside manoeuvre into turn 8? Nope. Of course, the more he fights, the more time he loses to the top. 5 minutes to go until the checker flag falls. And Brendan can get through this pack. He's still on for decent points. There at the top of the shot, you can see Nick Bailey's actually managed to get himself a bit of breathing space from Aaron Large. About 7 tenths of a second. Here comes Van Heeden on Matt Webb for 8th position, and Gary Cooper also having an argument with Toby Owen for 6th place, side by side now to turn 11. As they now come back on the hill, a little bit of an impact, but they don't fly off the road, so they'll be okay. And on they continue. There is Nick Bailey and Aaron Large. As mentioned, about 7 tenths of a second. Oh no, David Goss is getting blue flagged. Oh, Nick's very deep into turn 14. Whoa, that's Toby Owen and Gary Cooper side by side. Big punch in the face for Toby Owen from Gary Cooper. Here comes Brendan Van Heeden looking to capitalise on the two ahead of him fighting. Staying very much in the tyre tracks of Toby Owen. Oh, is he going to bounce like that one on the inside of turn 1? He's thinking about it. He's gone for it. I think Toby Owen may well have backed out of that. He didn't fancy being that side by side with the recovering Brendan Van Heeden. That's what 6 tenths of a second looks like between the BMW and the Renault further up the road of Aaron Large and Nick Bailey. Here comes the Van Heeden. He's sizing up Gary Cooper. He's going to go for it. He thought about it, but the door was not open enough by Gary Cooper. And Miles Dixon and Carl Benson side by side coming down the hill. That's David Garside. That's now a lap down. Oh, look at this. Well driven from the pair of them. This is for second. Now, oh, well driven. Lovely slide from Carl Benson. That is going to lead him into second position. Miles Dixon tried to cut back underneath him on the exit of turn 8, but Carl having none of that. Well driven. That's lovely sliding technique from Carl Benson. And Andrew Gillone is 6.5 seconds down the road. He's just he's minding his own business up there, really. Fair play to David Garside for not just throwing in the towel when his race was rather unceremoniously shoved into the wall. Matt Webb now at the back of this particular train. You can see Brendan Van Heeden still on the back of Gary Cooper. That's for 6th place. As the gap between 4th and 5th, Nick Bailey and Aaron Large is getting close to 2nd now. And that is a back marker. That's David Garside that Nick Bailey is going to have to deal with. He's 4.3 seconds behind Miles Dixon, who's still hounding Carl Benson. I think they've got the same penalty count. They do. They've both got a 1 second penalty. So this, everything matters in their eyes. I think, rough maths, no, I think it's going to be last lap just about. Oh, Carl Benson is really working hard to fend off the advances of Miles Dixon. Nick Bailey, after a great start, has gone up into 4th. He looks set to stay there. As David Garside is doing the best he can to stay out of people's way. But Gary Cooper has not only got Brendan Van Heeden on his case, he's got Toby Owen in there as well. Oh, Gary's a little deep. Oh, coming through turn 4. Now into turn 5. Oh, he bounced off the curb, which pitched him into Brendan Van Heeden. Not too badly though, but that's given Toby Owen the run on him, and up into 7th for Toby Owen. Matt Webb's got a great ringside seat for this entire fight ahead of him. Absolutely amazing stuff, but Matt Webb's flown off the road. Matt Webb's gone off to build sandcastles out there. He does rejoin the track. And there is Colin Dunn, we just saw at the back of the shot. Brendan doing everything he possibly can. Oh no, Nick Bailey's now on the penalty board. What's he managed to get himself? Just a single second. He didn't get a 30-second penalty this time. As mentioned, that one will almost certainly be appealed. So the results will be provisional and the proper results published later in the week. Oh, Brendan, is he sizing up an inside manoeuvre on Toby Owen? No, the checker flag is about to fall. There's Andrew Gillone. He has actually backed off a bit. I think he wants the checker flag to fall. I think he doesn't want to do another lap of this circuit. I don't think he particularly despises it. He just doesn't want to do another lap. Because that gap has come down a little bit. Checker flag is out. Bit of a slide on the final turn. Your winner for race number 2. He looks happy about it. It's the Scotsman, Andrew Gillone. And over the line is second. Great fight there between Carl Benson and Miles Dixon for third place. Nick Bailey. Great effort from Mr. Scuzzle in fourth place. Aaron Large. And the positions remain like that as well. Well done. Although Gary Cooper's just been promoted to fifth with penalties now aplenty. So Nick Bailey still fourth, Gary Cooper fifth, Brandon Van Heeden comes home in sixth position from being stone dead last. Great recovery drive for him. Toby Owen in seventh, Matt Webb in eighth, Colin Dunn in ninth, Chris Callaghan 10th. And there is Aaron Large. So his penalty put him all the way down to 11th. What was it? Oh yeah, his penalty was a 22nd. It was the drive-through penalty, which he didn't serve. So it becomes a 22nd penalty. The lagging Jay Daniels, I think there's going to be a few words said about that. In 12th, Kev Straw 13. Mark Harrison in 14th position. There's McRae in 15th. Mark Holmes 16th. And Alex Rhodes comes over the line. Last car on the lead lap in 17th place. So it is final confirmation. Andrew Gillone taking the top spot. Did he take fastest lap? He did not take fastest lap. That honour goes to, so have a quick scroll down. That honour belongs to Carl Benson by a couple of hundredths of a second. So Gillone, Benson, Dixon, Bailey, Cooper, Van Heeden, Owen, Webb, Colin Dunn, Callaghan. Always having to translate the gamer tag into the real names. Oh, yep, save the replay before I forget. Thank you, game. Then Jay Daniels 12, Kev Straw 13, Mark Harrison 14, McRae Williams 15, Mark Holmes 16th, Alex Rose 17th, and David Garside bring up the tail of the field. Now, who has joined me in the box? It's Mr. Scuzzle himself. Hello to you, Nick Bailey.
How you doing?
Well, you look like you had a fair bit of fun out there.
Yeah, I'm a bit sweaty now.
I bet you are, old son.
Yeah.
So once again, I mean, okay, you didn't have a qualifying session, but once again you were dumped into the midfield and you had a cracking start and then a whole cavalcade of people chasing you.
Yes. Quite good fun, really.
That was great fun from our perspective.
Yeah. I was just concerned most of the way through with the sweat in my VR headset that maybe water and electrics don't mix. Beautiful. Yeah. Now it's quite scary.
You did manage to incur a 30-second penalty last time.
Yes.
How on earth did you do that?
I've no idea. I'm going to have to watch the replay, I think, because I've got no idea where that happened. I ran wide on a couple. One corner I ran really wide and lost loads of places. But yeah, I'm really not sure where that happened.
Well done, you.
Cheers. But that's one of my best results, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah, stonking drive there. And again, brilliant. Great defensive effort as well, because you were constantly under pressure.
With that last one with Aaron behind me, he's a pretty epic sim racer. And yeah, he's quite hard to keep away from.
Confident for the final race of tonight?
Not really.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with it nonetheless. Thank you very much for joining us, Nick Bailey.
No worries. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Right then, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be getting race number 3 ready for you as soon as we can. Don't go anywhere. I think it's going to be another absolute stormer. We have another driver joining us in the commentary box this time around for a little chat before we get race number 3, or the qualifying for race number 3 underway. Hello to you, Carl Benson.
Oh,
Well, that was some drive, sir.
yeah, I think I did a little bit better than I did first race.
Talk us through it. How was it from your side?
Let me just shut my internet off. I was getting feedback there of what we just said.
All right.
Yeah, can you just repeat the question again for me, please? Sorry, because I was hearing you twice.
Oh, lovely. There's only so much punishment any man should be able to take. Talk us through it from your side, how that race went for you, because it looked like you had a lot to do.
Yeah, it was random grid, and I got positioned in 17th with Gummy Bear in 18th, so I was expecting to go backwards quite quick. And I got quite a good launch, and I think back first corner I maybe made up 6 or 7 places.
Wow.
And I just took it from there, and just worked my way through the field, managed to keep out of trouble, and then had a bit of battle all the way through with Miles.
Yeah.
And eventually got past him.
Yeah, that looked like it took quite some doing, and there was quite a lot of sideways going on your car as well.
Yeah. For this race, I set it up so it almost feels like a BMW. I want the rear end to be loose because it takes a bit of pressure off the front tyres and turns it in a lot quicker for me. And the car can just pull itself around the corner with it being front wheel drive.
Nice. So that is by default. That's by design, not not an accidental thing. Excellent.
No, it's by design.
Confident for the final race of the evening?
Once I set a half decent qualification time, I'm confident that I should be able to stay at the front, as long as I don't have a Gummy Bear behind me.
We wish you good luck for the final race of the evening. Thank you very much, Carl Benson.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
And we are now heading trackside for the final qualification round of the evening. So as Carl gets back into his car, gets back into his seat, we will head trackside. Looks like everybody has joined us, so we will hopefully have all drivers. Hopefully a bit less lag from Mr. Daniels. Yep, all 18 have returned to us. Who's coming out first? It's difficult to tell from that angle. Oh. Kev Straw's underway. There goes Matt Webb. Here they come. Looks like Colin Dunn was first out onto the track. So we've gone for a bit of a different time of day this time. I'm assuming this is evening time rather than morning, so the track temperature should be possibly a bit cooler than what we've had previously. Wow, Colin's not hanging around. Bearing in mind that the tyres and brakes are going to be absolutely stone cold. And he's not hanging around, is he? He's given that one plenty. It was interesting what Carl Benson was saying, though, that he set the car up to be loose on the tail. And that's certainly a very natural characteristic for the BMW, it being a rear-wheel drive car. We've lost one already. I missed, unfortunately, who it is we have just lost from the lobby. Never any good at figuring out who it is, but hopefully that person can reappear. So quickly see if I can identify who it is, but no, not offhand. Oh, it's Mr. Van Heeden. We have no Gummy Bear. There he is. The race winner from race number one has rejoined us. Yeah, so I found it interesting what Carl Benson was saying about purposely setting the Renault up to be loose on the tail, and he was really making that work very, very well for him. Where is he? Here he is. Chasing Jay Daniels, and there, look, he just catches the car and makes it into a very natural slide, whereas most of the rest of the front wheel drive cars have gone for a much more stable, more predictable kind of setup. Whereas Carl Benson is finding it easier to get the tail to slide to help rotate the car. It does look like Jay Daniels is a little less laggy this time, which is good to see. Because Jay's been quick in the past as well. Hasn't had quite so much luck this time around. But that's racing for you. That is the nature of the beast. There's Mr. Fishwick. There he is. So still doing his best to fend off Chris Callahan. I think he's 2 for 2. He has managed to fend off Chris Callahan on both of tonight's races, I believe. I would love to keep more of an eye on the AM battle, but it's often very difficult when we have the sort of racing we've had so far. Absolutely crazy close contested rounds up front. So it's not always very easy for me to keep an eye on those further back. Yep, Brendan's out on track. He's not wanting to lose any further time. Whatever issue he had that forced him to reconnect to the lobby. Here he is. Oh, that looked perhaps a little bit of lag there. Kev Straw, still minding his own business. Gary Cooper, we saw some with some monstrous recovery drives going on in the last few rounds. There's Alex Rhodes in the background. Can't quite see who's behind him. Oh, that BMW did not want to behave itself coming into turn 11 for Colin Dunn. And a fair amount of opposite lock there in the aqua flavoured BMW. Come on, Mr. Fishwick. Oops, that was a tad too much. Too much of the right foot coming through 14. That's going to cost him a bit of time. Up and over the hill. But he should still... Oh, it's McRae Williams is behind Alex Rhodes. There's Kev Straw. And I can't quite tell who that was behind him. What does Colin Dunn get on the board for the first time lap of the session? It is 8:20.99. Now, Mr. Gummy Bear was in the 206s, an absolutely storming lap. Here they come, the first time laps of the session. But if the tyre temps are a little bit different, that might explain some of the discrepancies. 208.142 from Gary Cooper. It was actually one of the last to set a lap time, I believe. Or he set his most competitive lap time very, very late in the session, I think, in race number 1. Absolutely nailed to the back of Jay Daniels. That's not going to be doing Jay any favours. Race 2 winner, Andrew Gillone. This very smooth style in the Beamer coming around the final turn. Whoa, Auto Commentator cursed him there. He's accused me of doing that a number of times over the years. And that's a 207.8 that puts him at the top of the tree. Well, where is Brendan Van Heeden? I'm not sure if he's finished his outlap yet. Because again, he did have that disconnect. Got a feeling he hasn't yet. There is Kev Straw. Is Kev's at the time yet? Oh, beg your pardon, that's not Kev Straw at all. It's Mark Holmes. I think Mark is taking his time. He's just winding up, I think, to start time. Oops! Don't go too wide at the beginning of it. As Brendan, I think, is going to be looking to do the same. 2:12 from Mark. Oh, no, that was a time lap, all right, from Brendan Van Heeden. A 2:06.762. A full second quicker than Gillone. My goodness. Whoa, wow, as Gary Cooper finds himself in a very busy part of the track. He's gone past Jay Daniels. Now finds... And right ahead of him is Carl Benson on the tail of Matt Webb. Yeah. Matt Webb wanting nothing to do with that. Oh, he's let one through, but he's jumped right in front of Gary Cooper. Oh dear. That might have a few words said about it. That is sometimes the trouble with the qualifying session. It's not particularly long. Is you're wanting to get as many laps as you can, but everybody's wanting to get as many laps in as well. So you end up all squabbling over the same bit of track, despite the fact that it's quite a long lap here. As Brendan has jumped back to the pits. Gillone's still going. We've caught up with him in exactly the same place we did before. That is turn 14. Oops, too much, too much, too much. Oh, no, you can blame me for that one, Andrew. And I'm sure he will. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he said, did you jump to me at? Yes. There's Gary Cooper, currently third with a 2:08.142. 3/10 behind Gillone. And just under 3/10 ahead of Carl Benson. Carl's now got some fresh air ahead of him. There's someone down the road, but not anyone close enough to worry him at the moment. Another 3/10-ish to Toby Owen. That's roughly the same again to Aaron Large. Still 11 and a bit minutes to go, so plenty of time for people. And Gillone to come straight back out, and he's behind Chris Callahan. Gillone will still be on his outlap. Nothing immediately to worry about there. Alex Rhodes has just gone back to the pits with a 2:10.199, 400ths of a second behind Matt Webb. Callahan with a 2:09.8, very nicely done, along with Nick Bailey, also with a 2:09.8 on the board. Wow, Colin Dunn with a 2:09.1 on the board, very much in command of the AM contingent at the moment. He's just about to cross the line. Does he improve? He does not improve from the 2:09.173 that sees him in 7th overall and the top of the standings for the AM class. There is Mark Harrison, still in the Renault. So he's opted to stick with the Renault this time. He may well have been in the Renault first time. I can't actually remember. Oh, steady. Get the car to behave itself. Fairly steady through 14-15. David Garside did not have a very good race number 2. Found himself into the wall. That looks a little bit laggy. That's very laggy indeed for the car, for car 44. That's not Lewis Hamilton. I wonder if the reason why he's gone off the road is because he was maybe reaching over with one hand to sort out whatever the problem was, because now he looks fine. Although his car is reshaping a little bit, I think, on the front. No, whatever the problem was, it's just come back again. Benson still 4th. 2:08.395. Where is he? He's coming down towards... That's... Oh, big old slide there. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, I think. 6, 7, 8. Yep, he's now coming down to the road to 9. 10. Oh my goodness, I know you said you had the tail set up loose, but wow, that's... Yep, and he's binned that one. I'm not surprised. As flashy as it looks, it's not the quickest way of dealing with things. Gillone's still second, still turning the miles up there. Steady, don't slide too far on the exit of turn 4. He makes it look so easy. Aha, he's doing it again. Brendan's been in the pits a while. Still leads the field by a second. And comes back out on track for another go. Miles Dixon hasn't set a time and he's back in the pit again. Oh dear, oh dear. Garside's got a 2:15.6 on the board. 3.6. Is that Brendan? Why is Brendan sat on the side of the road? He's doing some practice starts. That's fair enough. He's off the racing line. There's nothing to say he's not allowed to do that. And bear in mind, it was his starts that really hindered him somewhat, or it was certainly an element that hindered him at the beginning of race 1. He, of course, fought his way through the field and continued to extend the gap over this man. It looks very elegant. I'm not sure it's the fastest way of doing things, Mr. Gillone, but he's been doing sim racing for a great many years. He's an absolutely storming driver. Oh, I think he backed off there. Yeah. Oh, not as much as Chris Callahan did. To the pits, 8 minutes to go. And back out on track for Andrew Gillone. Gary Cooper's continuing to turn the miles as well. 208.142 still in third position for the bright red Renault. He's through 12 and 13 up the hill towards 14, 15. Let's see what he can do. There's Alex Rhodes in the background. Alex finds himself in 11th with a 2:10.1. Through turn 14, what can Mr. Cooper do? Onto the final straight, right ahead of him is Colin Dunn. Let's see, can Gary Cooper improve? Not this time. Does Alex Rhodes improve? He does not. Remains 2:10.1. Again, we've still got clumps of drivers that are very, very close together again, even on a 2-minute lap. Fantastic! Look at that. 0.07 of a second between Toby Owen, who I haven't mentioned for a while. Great time up there in 5th position, coming through the final turn. 2:08.619 ahead of Aaron Large. 2:08.680. And that's a 2:07.880 for Toby Owen. 0.07 of a second behind Andrew Gillone. That's a stormer from Toby Owen. Absolutely superb. Here comes Brendan Van Heeden. Can he improve? He managed it last time. I think it was a 2:06.3, no, 2:06.5 in that kind of region. He did last time. No one ahead of one. Certainly no one anywhere near close enough. I think that's Nick Bailey further up the road. Yep, it certainly is. Once again, Nick Bailey finds himself right in the middle of the field with a 2:09.5. Again, I mean no disrespect, but oh dear, that's an interesting line, Nick. It's new trousers, please, for car 29. I would have woken him up. He probably won't be very happy by the fact that I caught that moment. We certainly are. Oh, was that? No, it wasn't Brendan. That isn't Brendan either. That's Carl Benson. The 2:08.395. He has improved. Jay Daniels, that's a bit more like it. 2:08.677. 0.03 of a second ahead of Aaron Large. Truth, that's quite impressive. 5 minutes to go of this qualifying session, the final one of the night. Brendan Van Heeden still leading the way by over a second. Oh, wow, the tails really misbehaved itself coming into turn 11 there. I didn't expect the car to behave like that, and I'm not entirely sure Brendan did either. There's Nick Bailey. He's going to be pounced upon very quickly. Up the hill, well, that's 12 and 13 they've just gone through, over the crest, and 14, 15 with the sun right in their eyes. It does make a surprising amount of difference, especially in VR, I can assure you that. 3 drivers in the same 10th of a second, 2:07.8. Gillone, Cooper and Owen. Oh, wrestle that one round. Nick Bailey staying very much out of the way. And that is an improvement. It's 2:06.5 again from Mr. Gummy Bear. Brendan Van Heeden, 2:06.573. What was he to catch up with Andrew Gillone towards the end of the lap? That's 12:13 he's now coming through. Again, just effortlessly sliding the car around. Toby Owen back in the pits. Oh, that's Mark Holmes. That's on, well, very, very slow. We have lost one from the session. It's not Jay Daniels, who, with his lag issue, was the first one I thought of. I'm not sure who it is that we have lost. Unfortunately, well, unless they're very, very quick, they won't be able to rejoin. And that was an improvement from Andrew Gillone in time but not position. 2:07.259. It's Miles Dixon that has had to drop out. Just catching up with the messages there. Sadly, Mr. Dixon not able to complete tonight's races. Gillone is pushing hard. storming time, 2:07.2. Gary Cooper now up into third place, 2:07.824. Well, he's been in third place for a while, I should say. There's Carl Benson. There he is. Oh, that looked somewhat deep coming into turn 8, but if that works for him, then fair play. Nick Bailey's down to 9th now. That seems to be the number of the night for Nick Bailey. Started 9th in race 2, so he's in 9th at the moment. He's car 29. Does he improve though? Final couple of corners for the Scuzzle. Let's see. Does he improve? He does not. Remains in 9th position for Nick Bailey. We've lost another from the race too. Down to 16 now. Mark Holmes is still going. Not sure who the other is that we've lost at this stage, but unfortunately, a few drivers not able to continue. Gary Cooper. Oh, he's struggling to get any more out of his car, it seems. Over the line, and no improvement for Carl Benson. 2:08.395 keeps him in 5th position. He does not improve from there. There is Aaron Large into turns 6 and 7. Nick Bailey right ahead of him. And Mark Holmes is back in the pits. He remains on 2:12.9. No, it could be. Is Nick Bailey going to be in the way? Well, he's not at the moment. Nope, as Nick Bailey boots a cone. It'll be giving Aaron a bit of a tow along that short straight towards turn 11. Won't be helping him any in the turn. That's a bit wild, Mr. Bailey. Well, he's giving it plenty anyway. They're doing a bit of lawn mowing on the apex as well. Ooh, he might get in trouble for this. Well, I mean, strictly speaking, if they're both on a hot lap, there's no obligation for Nick to get out of the way. Although Nick looks to be really struggling with his run. And there we go. He's let Aaron go. 15 seconds before the checkered flag falls. And Gillone has gone back to the pits. He will do no more in this session. Let's see what Aaron Large can do. Currently in 6th place with a 2:08.492. Checker flag is out. And he didn't beat it and did not improve from 6th. Nick Bailey remains in 9th. Jay Daniels, I think, is done. Oh no, he's still going. He is still going. That is down at turn 11. Oh, steady. Is Gary still going? He's still going. So we'll keep an eye on him. Aaron is done. Jay Daniels is not yet. Fairly steady through 12 and 13. Up the hill now for 14-15. Chris Callahan, are you still going? If you are, you're going very slowly. Oh, he's off in the gravel. Big slideways moment for Alex Rhodes. Through turn 10. Who's getting towards the end of their lap? No. Gary Cooper is getting towards the end of his lap. Let's see. Does he improve? Currently 3rd. 2:07.824. Nicely done. Does he improve on 3rd place? He does not. He remains on row 2. Aaron is done, as we know. Along with Nick Bailey. Jay Daniels, are you finished yet? No. And Alex Rhodes is still turning his wheels. Where is he? That is... Oh, he's in the pits. So that just leaves Jay Daniels. He's not gonna complete his lap from there. So I think Jay's had a problem somewhere in his lap. Yeah, Gary's done. So, and there we go. Jump back to the pits. Right. So it is Brendan Van Heeden and Andrew Gillone. We've said that before, and they occupy the front 2 spots again. Then it's Gary Cooper and Toby Owen for row 2. Carl Benson and Aaron Large, row 3. Colin Dunn getting the front of the AM class. Jay Daniels joins him in row 4. Nick Bailey and Chris Callahan, row 5. Alex Rhodes and Matt Webb, row 6. McRae Williams and Kev Straw, row 7. Mark Holmes and Mark Harrison take on our remaining positions in row number 8. So, just one more 15-minute race remains, and that is the penultimate round of the VTCC over and done with. And, it's dark. Wow. Who's practiced this, I wonder? It makes more of a difference to do with visual references. Now, the track temperature will be a bit different. I'm not entirely sure it's going to make an awful lot of difference, realistically speaking. It'll make a little bit, but it's more down to what these drivers have been using for visual references. That's going to be the biggest difference. We will see. Might make no difference whatsoever. They might have the people finishing in the same order they did in race 1. We will see. 16 drivers will take the grid for this final round of the night. Brendan Van Heeden and Alex Gellone once again on the front row. Can Brendan get a good start this time? It's not gone his way so far, but he's had ample enough pace to get back through to the front. We did see him doing those practice starts before the session ended, or before the previous session ended. Let's see how well he is able to keep the car under control now. Tyre wear and tyre temperature were a problem in the first race. This might change it though. If people have had to back off to keep their tyres from overheating, they might be able to go all to the wall this time. We will see. Final race of the night. Let's get it going. Here it is time to wind them up and let them go. And it's another terrible start. It's an even worse start for Gary Cooper. Brendan Van Heeden is again absolutely swamped. And once again, Andrew Gillone has taken off like a scalded cat. Down to 7th for Van Heeden. No, down to 9th. And he's been punched in the face by Nick Bailey. Oh, Nick has gone into the wall. I think Van Heeden has avoided damage. But, Nick Bailey has not. He's head-butted the wall. He is going to be struggling in that car. But Andrew Gillone is absolutely gone 3 wide, coming down towards turn 4. Benson 2, Owen 3, Aaron Large up to 4th place now, still side by side with the Renault. And here comes Jay Daniels. We haven't really seen the best of Jay because he had that massive lag trouble in race 1. Oh, that's someone getting very quickly towards the back. It looks like Alex Rose has got no headlights. He indeed doesn't. He either hasn't turned them on or he's already broken them. There's Matt Webb. Oh, wow. Brendan Van Heeden already back up into 10th place as he's just done a lovely outside manoeuvre on McRae Williams. He means business. He is working his way through the field. Unlike in race 2, where he was shoved off the road. Well, he was shoved off the road by Nick Bailey, but Nick came off far worse. It doesn't look like there's any significant damage on his car as he's just slammed into the back of Kev Straw. Coming out of turn 10. Gellone needs to use this opportunity to run off into the distance, which is exactly what he's doing. 1.8 seconds between himself and Carl Benson. Carl's got no headlights either, but that could be just a difference on my screen as opposed to what they're actually running. Oh, that's getting a little bit clumsy with Aaron Large, Toby Owen, Gary Cooper's in there. Gary Cooper's knocked Jay Daniels down a position. Colin Dunn all the way up there in 7th place. Leading the AMs, you can just about see. Well, Chris Callahan's actually directly behind him. Van Heeden up into 9th. Joins the back of the pack. Oh, that's really deep. That's the old pit lane entrance. You see it on the right. There's the new one. You can join the pit lane from the old one, but it's not the desired route. Oh wow, was that Gary Cooper going for a majorly early apex there? As Toby Owen is the first again. Oh no! Big impact between Owen and Aaron Large. Well saved, Aaron Large. My goodness me. That was a bit of a clunk between Cooper and Aaron Large, but Aaron Large managed to... I was convinced he was going to be off into the dust, but he managed to save it side by side with Jay Daniels now coming into turn 4. Oh, that's someone running a bit wide. That's Toby Owen. That's gone a bit too deep. And again, Gary Cooper getting his elbows out and door banging now with the boss man, Toby Owen. Oh, that's someone running a bit wide. I can't quite see who it is. That's the only problem with commentating for night races. It's difficult to tell who. Callahan having a look at Colin Dunn. Oh, it's Brendan Van Heeden looking to try and make up more positions. A little cautious coming into turn 7. Lost a bit of time. There's Aaron Large and Colin Dunn side by side. Is Callahan. Doe really ahead of Van Heeden. Side by side, are they? I can't tell from that camera angle. No, Brendan Van Heeden has gone ahead of Chris Callahan for 8th place. Nicely done. And Chigillone leads Carl Benson by 3 seconds near enough. Then is another 2.5 seconds, well, slightly under that, between Carl Benson and then this big pack of 3rd to 9th. There it is. That has Cooper, Owen, Daniels, Large, Dunn, Van Heeden, Callahan just about hanging on to the back of it. Oh, I think Mr. Fishwick was a little wide coming out of turn 13. Oh, here comes Van Heeden. He may not bother to keep Van Heeden behind him. He's entitled to. That is a race for position, but they are in 2 different classes. As Brendan Van Heeden is going to do an outside manoeuvre around the final turn to try and keep his momentum going. Again, Colin is allowed to defend the spot. There's nothing to say he has to let Van Heeden go, but I think he has decided to let the pro driver through. And on they continue. 5 minutes down, 10 to go of this twilight race here in Brno. Oh, Jay Daniels and Aaron Large getting a little bit squiggly ahead of Brendan here. Toby Owen just ahead of us, and then Gary Cooper at the head of this particular train. It did look like Brendan had a bit more pace at that moment than Aaron Large, but couldn't use it all the way down the hill towards turn 6. Oh, nice move from Van Heeden. Wow. Aaron Large made a tiny mistake and Van Heeden just pounced on him. He's now already having a go at Jay Daniels. Oh, 2 cars and 3 corners. Nicely done. He means business, does Brendan Van Heeden. A little bit of a door tap. Wasn't anything too bad between himself and Jay Daniels. I don't think Jay will feel too aggrieved by that. He's now on the back of Toby Owen. Gary Cooper is broken free of Toby Owen and is now looking to get on Carl Benson's case. Ooh, I think Gary got a little out of shape coming into turn 11 there. That's lost him momentum. Jay Daniels doing what he can to keep Aaron Large behind him. There you see Colin Dunn. Still got Chris Callahan for company, but there's a bit of a gap between the AM front runners. Here comes Van Heeden. Is he going to make a move at Toby Owen? They're side by side. You can't quite see Toby Owen. There he is. And that's up the hill towards turn 14. That should be a fairly straightforward move for Brendan. It is indeed. That is 4th place. Being sent down to 15th. And now is in 4th place. But he's still going to have some pressure behind him. On board with Aaron Large. You can see Toby Owen right on the back of Carl just as they come into turn 1. Carl's gone a bit deep. It cuts back for the second apex, although there's no real gap in them. Aaron Large trying to do something with Jay Daniels ahead of him. Can he do it? He's getting close. Side by side, Jay Daniels giving the room. Oh, he tried to return to the racing line, but there was a BMW in it. And I'm just about to cut to this particular battle. You just saw it in that shot. Gary Cooper now right on the back of Carl Benson. Flash of the lights from Carl Benson there. Curious, not sure who he's signifying. Oh, Gary Cooper, I think, thought the door was being left open for him, but somehow both of them survive. Here comes Van Heeden. I wonder whether Gary Cooper thought the flash of the lights was a signal to him that Carl was going to let him go, but why would he? He's in second. This is going to be an interesting battle for Brendan Van Heiden. He's doing his best to get through the pack as quickly as he can, but Gary Cooper's proving a difficult customer. Brendan's still 6.5 seconds behind Andrew Gillone with only 7 minutes to go, or less than that now. Oh, Gary's gone deep. Yeah, that's left the door open for Brendan at turn 11. Gary Cooper's going to try and defend it, is he? Ooh, I think there was a bit of lag there, but no. I think Gary Cooper realised that one was done. That is now third for Brendan Van Heiden. What a great recovery drive this has been. And we have lost... Who have we lost? We have lost one from the race. We are down to 15. But this pack has pretty much occupied my entire attention. You go on the roof of Aaron Large. There's the only problem with night races. You can't quite make out all the details going on ahead. Or further down the road. Keeping an eye on Brendan. He's not really going to make a move from that far back. It's proving into another fairly relaxed race for Andrew Gillone. That's the gap he's got between himself and Carl Benson with just under 6 minutes to go. 3-ish laps. It's going to be difficult for Brendan to do anything about that, but Carl Benson is a very quick driver. He's won races in this series, so he's going to be one for... He's not going to make it easy for Van Heiden, and Brendan's not had a good run through turn 5. It's going to drop him a little bit off the back of Carl Benson. On board with Gary Cooper. Oh, he went too early for the apex. He had to get out of that. Locks up a bit, coming through 6. Into 7, you can hear the buzzing engine of Toby Owen behind. And there he is. There's that pack beginning to break up now as Brendan's still very, very close to the back of Carl Benson. Still, last time around, Brendan was getting a 2:07 on the board. Oh, this is going to be interesting. There he goes. He's going to commit to the move down into turn 11. And it looks like Benson's let him go, but he's gone a bit deep. Yep, he's gone too deep there. Carl Benson's going to get the run on him. More is he? Carl Benson's not been able to get back up ahead. An inside line for Brendan Van Heiden. Flash of the lights, thank you very much. And that is second place from 15th for Brendan Van Heiden. 5.5 seconds in 4.5 minutes. He would need a fair amount of luck, but... and luck has always been a questionable trait for Mr. Van Heiden in this series, but, I mean, stranger things have happened. Toby Owen on the back of Gary Cooper now. That's a battle for 4th position between those two. Just over half a second between them. 4 minutes remain. Ooh, Toby's gone onto the grass. Well, it's questionable as to whether that helps rotate the car. It's a risky manoeuvre to do. Oh, behind Aaron Large on Jay Daniels. And right with them is Colin Dunn. So Colin has left Chris Callaghan absolutely miles behind him. 7.5 seconds indeed between the AM lead. And right at the back, there's a great scrap forming here. Look at this. That's McRae Williams, Matt Webb, Mark Harrison and Kev Straw fighting for 12th. Great battle. There's Nick Bailey, who... trying to recover. Don't think he's been in the... If he has been in the pits, I completely missed it. He will certainly continue to carry the visual damage as he's on the back of Mark Holmes. Oh, wow, that was close, Nick. This is even more difficult to judge when in the dark with no lights. His car certainly won't pass an MOT. Oh, that's very close between himself and Mark Holmes. Mark not making it easy for him. And again, why should he? Oh, Nick had to get out of that. Really had to jink over to the right very hard. There's more flying tyres. Oh, is that a move for Nick? No, Mark Holmes has just smacked into the tyre wall. That's going to hurt. Those tyres hurt. They bite. I would think it's a matter of time before Nick Bailey does indeed claim that 10th place. And I think Mark's getting out of it. I think Mark realises, well, no, Mark's actually gone for the inside line fairly early, but that's a very wounded Astra. So up into 10th position then for Nick Bailey. Colin Dunn on the back of Aaron Large. Wow, Aaron spun! I wondered if he was going to catch it, but no, Aaron Large facing the wrong way at turn 12, turn 13. Has managed to get going again before Chris Callahan finds him. I beg your pardon, that was turn 15. Here's a three-way battle between Carl Benson, Gary Cooper, and Jay Daniels. I beg your pardon, Toby Owen. Jay Daniels has got Colin Dunn for company. There at the bottom of the shot is Brendan Van Heeden, still pressing on. At the current rate, he won't get there in time, but you never know what will happen. So a quick look at the penalties. 2 for Gary Cooper, 1 for Toby Owen, 1 for Jay Daniels, and for Nick Bailey and Mark Holmes and McRae Williams, and 2 for Matt Webb, who's just lost position to Mark Harrison. Oh, Gary Cooper's gone deep. What can Toby Owen do here? I wondered if he was going to absolutely throw that on the inside of turn 7. He thought better of that one. Wow, Carl Benson, Brendan Van Heeden is absolutely chasing off. There is the Scottish flavoured BMW he is after. He is doing everything he possibly can to chase off after the victory, but with 39 seconds on the board, even if there was a second, another lap after this one, and I'm not convinced there will be, it's going to be a bit of a tall order unless Gillone makes a mistake, which is exceedingly rare. Oh, what's happened to Matt Webb? Oh dear, he's parked on the side of the road. Not a good day in the office for him. Toby Owen still staring at the back of that, or being the back car of a three-way fight for third place. And the checker flag is going to greet Andrew Gillone this time around, and there it is, your winner. 2 out of 3 for the Scotsman. Your winner in race number 3 here at Brno is Andrew Gillone. Very brilliantly done, but what a recovery drive for Brendan Van Heeden in second. And Carl Benson is just about going to fend off Toby Owen and Gary Cooper, who swapped round due to penalties, for third place. Toby Owen 4, Gary Cooper 5, Jay Daniels in 6th, Colin Dunn in 7th. Here comes Aaron Large for 8th place. Second in the AMS is Chris Callahan. He was quite some way behind Colin Dunn this time. Didn't go his way for the final race. Oh, there's a battered and bruised Nick Bailey, but comes over the line in 10th position. There is Mark Holmes keeping McRae Williams company for 11th place. Kev Straw, he's across the line in 13th. I think Mark, Mark is still going. And towards the end, Matt Webb is disconnected. Yep, here comes the debutant, that is Mark Harrison, for the final runner of the event. Holy moly. So to recap then, the winner is Andrew Gillone. Again, the fastest lap goes to, again, the only man in the 207s is Brendan Van Heeden. He takes second. Carl Benson 3rd, Toby Owen 4, Gary Cooper 5th, Jay Daniels 6th, Colin Dunn 7th, Aaron Large in 8th, Chris Callahan 9th, Nick Bailey in 10th, Mark Holmes 11th, McRae Williams 12th, Kev Straw 13th, Mark Harrison in 14th, Matt Webb we lost, along with, I've completely forgotten who else dropped out of the session. Holy moly, that was quite something, I think you will agree. So we'll give the drivers a few minutes if they want to have come and have a chat to me. They're absolutely fine. Oh, as I catch my breath after quite a frenetic final round, as I thought it would be, considering how the first one went. Oh, Miles Dixon, yes, he unfortunately had other matters to attend to. He had to leave the session, which was a bit of a shame. Oh, haha! We have someone. Oh, it's the boss man. I must be on my best behaviour then. Coming to join me in the box is The man responsible for the entire event, it's the organiser, it's Toby Owen.
Good evening.
Hello to you, sir. Well, once again, we kept finding you in the midst of quite a lot of fighting going on.
Yeah. It was very busy racing. Very busy, but really, really good.
How did your race go? Talk us through it.
Well, it was dark, which was a first for this season. I've not practiced in the dark, so I spent the first couple of laps relearning all of my braking points.
I suspect most people were the same. I would think
So
most people were the same.
Quite big discrepancies sometimes in when I braked compared to where people around me braked, so that was quite interesting for the first few laps. But when I'd settled down into my rhythm, I think I'd dropped a couple of places to the guys ahead of me, but when I got into my rhythm, I was quicker than the guys I was chasing. Not quite enough laps to make it count, but I think I did get Gary on the line because of penalties. So,
I believe you did, yes.
take that.
So how much of a difference was there from your side, your perspective, between the night and the day, as far as how the car felt and how it behaved?
The car felt the same, to be honest. I mean, when I saw that it was dark, I did drop the tyre pressure slightly, so maybe that helped. But the handling was pretty similar. It was just in the light, I'd used a lot of sort of trackside scenery as my reference point, but suddenly in the dark I couldn't see.
As I did say that that would be a trying aspect for the drivers, how much of their visual braking or their visual markers are no longer visible. So just one more round, Mr. Owen.
Yes, and Silverstone International, which is one that everyone's very familiar with. More so than Brno. I don't think many people had driven it before we did it in the VTCC.
I think we are going to be in for a wonderful finale. So it leads me to thank you very much for being the driving force behind this series. You have done admirably well to get this series to where it is. It has been a great pleasure to commentate on it, and I wish you a very good luck for the final round.
Oh, thank you very much. And same to you, Chris. I'm sure you're as hot and sweaty as the rest of us.
Oh yes, were it not for this fan next to me, I would have melted by now. Thank you very much, Toby Owen. So then it looks like everybody else has decided to call it a day and disappear, and I don't blame them at all. So that leaves me to sign out for tonight. Thank you very much to those that have been live with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you on board. Thank you very much, as mentioned, to Toby Owen for driving this series forward. Thank you very much to our drivers who put on a fantastic show for this evening. It's been a great fun to commentate on. As mentioned, next week it's Silverstone International, the grand finale. The Pro Series may be signed up, sealed and delivered to Alex Jameson, but there's still racing and still plenty of other positions to decide. Also, the AM Championship still needs to be decided, although I think Colin Dunn may well have put himself in the driving seat for that one. Until then, join us at the same time next week for Silverstone. Until then, thank you very much and good night.